It's the Morning J Show.
Then. Now. Acknowledge me. The king of kings. You can't see me. Forever. Together.
They used to tell me. I hope you learn to make it on your own. And if you love yourself, just know you'll never be alone. I hope that you get everything you want and that you chose. I hope that it's the realest thing that you ever know. Hope you get the pretty girls that's pretty at everything. $1 million cribs, having $1 million dreams. And when you get it all, just remember one thing. Remember one thing. That one man could change the world. That one man could change the world. All I wanted was $100 million and a bad chick. Imagine this a month, some nights it felt like that I had it. Back on the mattress, staring at the ceiling, trying to connect the dots, but it's all making those attachments. I'm talking dreaming so hard, some nights it felt like draft day. You know, my stepbrother used to flip them bags outside the crib like it was trash day. No Kim K, but he bagged, yeah. But when you get it fast money, slow down, don't crash. With all the drive in the world, swear you still need gas. Look, think about it. Close your eyes, dream about it, tell your team about it. Go make $1 million schemes about it. Success is on the way, I feel it in the distance. Used to look up at the stars and be like, ain't too much that's different. I be shining, they be shining. Get you one shot, don't you miss it. What you know about waking up every day like you on a mission. And I hope you learn to make it on your own. And if you love yourself, just know you'll never be alone. I hope that you get everything you want and that you chose. I hope and that's the realest thing that you ever know. Hope you get the pretty girls that's pretty and everything. $1 million cribs, having $1 million dreams. And when you get it all, just remember one thing. Remember one thing. One man could change the world. One man could change the world. My grandma told me if you write your name in stone, you'll never get the white out. I grinded out that black hole, then performed up at the White House, standing next to Jim Carrey. We traded stories, then laughed. I said, you're not the only one I know got rich wearing masks. Where I'm from, I swear they broke. They need way more than the cash. We need more than what you have, and then we need more than that. But how I'm supposed to say I'm tired if that girl from West Virginia came up in conditions that I couldn't survive? Went to war, came back alive. On top of that, became a female black captain. When being black, you had to extra try. Way before James Brown made us proud. She bought a crib on the same street as Marvin Gaye, right there on how to drive. And she taught me how to drive. And she raised the kids, then the kids' and she did it right. Taught me how to love, taught me not to cry. When I die, I hope you teach me how to fly. All my life you've been that angel in the sky, saying I hope you learn to make it on your own. If you love yourself, just know you'll never be alone. I hope that you get everything you want and that you chose. I hope that it's the realest thing that you ever know. Hope you get the pretty girls that's pretty at everything. $1 million cribs, having $1 million dreams. When you get it all, just remember one thing. Remember one thing. That one man can change the world. That one man can change the world.
Morning J Show here. Good afternoon, good morning, good night. Actually, it's the Morning J Show after dark, actually. Solo show today. Solo show today. Kind of a wrestling show today. That's what I'm trying to do. Basically, we're wrapping up here on WrestleMania weekend. It was Friday, Saturday night, and Sunday night, and then Monday after WrestleMania, and then SmackDown after WrestleMania. It came by so fast. Because I swear last year's WrestleMania felt like it was like 6 months from in the past. Like it felt like it came around so fast. last year's WrestleMania. So and when they first introduced the 2-night concept, I didn't like it because I'm the kind of guy who would fly into a city, in and out instead of going for the whole weekend shenanigans. I would just go for one big day. Like I would fly in. Let's say when it used to be on a Sunday, right? I would fly in on that Sunday, get a hotel. I wouldn't even get a hotel. I pretty much be homeless for the day. I'm here for the day, do everything, in, out, red eye in, red eye out. I'm out. I think it was a money cost thing, pretty much. So I would, like, when it was in New York City, I said, New York City, it's nothing really to do. I mean, it's stuff to do, but it's like, well, I like New York City, so that's a different story. But basically, let's say it was in Los Angeles and it's in a regular arena, right? So I will fly in same day, go to the WrestleMania store and all the little festivities for that particular day. Then for the main show, and then I would skip the main event and leave early because I hate traffic, and I would have hightailed it to the airport and fly back home to DC, and went to work the next day, pretty much. So when they first introduced the 2-day concept, I didn't like it because I felt like I was stuck in my traditions, pretty much. I was stuck in my traditions. So I'm used to being on a Sunday. Sunday's a big day because, like, back in the day, Sundays used to be like the big marquee stuff for the week. It's like, okay, it's Sunday, the new shows come on, HBO, Showtime, big new shows for the week. It was like Sunday was like Fridays. It was like big premieres, big things going on, reset. So I didn't like it at first, but now I think I do. It's cool. I mean, because they started doing their events on Saturdays, so their regular pay-per-views are on Saturdays, and I enjoy that because, you know, as you get older, you gotta go to work, and then, you know, you cramming all this stuff in on a Sunday, drinking, bars, and then you gotta wake up and go to work, start fresh for Monday for work. It was kind of too much. So I enjoyed the new concept of having their regular monthly pay-per-view events on Saturday. And yeah, so guys, this is my first time doing a long show. I never did a show by myself before, but hey, I talk to myself all the time, which I think other people do. So I said, I'm going to try to do a wrestling show on a whim about WrestleMania this past week and see how it goes. And plus, I'm trying to teach myself how to talk slower to doing the podcast, because when I'm getting excited about a topic, I start to talk faster. But see, now I'm by myself, so I'm not cramming for the dead air when I'm asking somebody a question or someone's asking me a question. I'm not cramming to get it out and not have nothing coming out of the speakers on the air. And I'm just trying to talk slower, pretty much. Guys, this has been a dream of mine of doing a radio show for like 15 years. I've been doing this. I've been obsessed with radio since I was young. Me and my cousin, Cynthia, who does the regular morning J shows in the morning, we've been doing podcasts pretty much since its inception. Pretty much because we used to just sit around and talk about stuff, what happened during the week in school and stuff like that, what's going on in the current events in the world, on the couch, either at her house or at my house. And back in the day, we used to record our podcast on our boombox, because on the boombox back in the day, we used to have cassette tapes, which I know most people don't these days. The Gen Zers don't know what a boombox is or a cassette tape is. So we used to record on a blank tape, and then there's a little speaker at the top, and we used to just talk into it because it's like a little speaker at the top of the boombox, and do our little podcast. And then we used to record music off of the radio and then like kind of play it so it all could sink in, if that makes sense, with our little phones, our little Nokia phones and everything like that. So we've been doing this since forever, and I've been procrastinating in doing this podcast. I say, cause I bought a board, like let's say 2 years ago. I bought like a crappy little board off of Amazon like 2 years ago. And then stuff came out, I just bought the board, right? And then stuff came around, life came around, and I just felt like that board was not sufficient to what I wanted to do. Even though I could have done the show with that board. I could have just bought some mics and some headphones and did the show on on that board, but I didn't. I still have that board in somebody's basement downstairs right now. So I bought this new board. I seen it on YouTube. I've researched it for months. I've researched these videos for months on the technology of this board. It's called a Rodecaster Pro 2. It's cute. It got lights. It's pretty. And it's nice. It's great. I love it. So I did all my research like for months on end. And I waited for my windfall. And I said, I'm going to pull the plug and get this system and do this podcast, because I've been meaning to. I should be in Hollywood right now, hanging out with Khloe Kardashian, doing her old XM radio show she used to do back in the day, and just being myself and living my life. I think this podcast will gain access to the life that I should have. I should have been born with. That I should have. I think so. So, I'm a big fan of wrestling. I think my first I discovered WWE, aka WWF. My uncle passed away. His name was Junior, I think it was, and he had some old VHS. Wow, VHS. Who the fuck thought? VHS tapes in his closet. Upon his death, we cleaned out his apartment. Me, my mother, and a couple of other family members. So I took those VHSs home, and I looked at them, and it was like, I think it was WrestleMania 1, actually, or maybe 3. I'm not sure. When the iconic Hulk Hogan going down the ramp. It's a long ramp. He's going down the ramp. He has on the red and yellow, and it's cut off, and he still has hair. So I think that's WrestleMania either 1 or number 3. So I don't think it was outside. I think it was inside. But there was this big, long entranceway. I have to look that up anyway. No big deal. So I first saw that, and there was wrestling, Andre the Giant and The Undertaker and everything like that. So I got into it like that. And then I watched the newer version of the WWF, the more, HD, the storytelling, the monsters, the heels, the faces. And I went to my first event at the MCI Center, which it was called back in those days, and I think it was a house show. I just remember the lights and glitz and glamour. I think it was Kane was there and Undertaker was there, and I really love the fireworks. Pretty much, I love the fireworks because I never really go to house shows because I thought the house shows don't have fireworks because it's not on TV, so it's just basically the wrestling. And I'm great. I love the wrestling, but I love the glitz and the glamour, and the lights, the glitz, the glamour, the power of the fireworks. So I don't really go to house shows. It's a house show coming up soon in Fairfax, and I may go. Cause I do want to see Gunther and Imperium because they really like old school wrestling. It's like chops, shameless like hard hits and bumps and grinds. So I may go to one of those house shows soon. So I haven't been one in years. So, but I always love the heels. I love a bad guy because I think I'm a bad guy at heart. So I love heels like Kane, Undertaker when they turn on each other, and Paul Bearer and DX Express. I love the heels. I love China. I love a faction. I love a group because you're in a faction or a group, you could get more people, bring them up in there from mid card to main eventers. Billy Gunn and the storylines I love when they go backstage. I love it when they're going backstage. I love it when they show when they arrive in their little limos or their little cars and their little trucks. I love the production of a show. I don't care about the ring stuff. I love the story of the stuff. I love to see, somebody was mad last week. They destroyed the Express bus on SmackDown. What's going to happen on Raw? What kind of bus they're going to show up in on Raw? Because the bus exploded, so the bus was done. So what kind of bus or what kind of transportation are they going to use the next week coming into Raw? And so I just love the backstage area stuff. I'm not sure. Most of the stuff was pre-taped or was live. I just love that stuff. I love the put together, the feuds, and what's going on behind the scenes. I love it when they go backstage. So, yeah. I'm a big Miz fan because people didn't like him, and he came from TV, or they thought he came from TV. But you know, when he was on the Real World, like in like '99, 2000, 2002, not sure which year he was on there for, but he was a big fan of WWE. And he was even on that show. He was saying he's going to be on WWF back in the day, and he actually did. He actually made it, and you know, he first came in. They gave him like shitty jobs, you know, because he was a MTV on TV already exposure guy, so they thought he was just a plebe, a shit bird. So they made him host SmackDown and all that stuff, and he worked his way, earned his dues, got kicked out of the locker room a couple times. You know, he had to change somewhere else in the arena. Because he got food on the now deceased. We don't call him. They don't say his name no more. Chris Benoit's bag, and he got into a road rage, and he got kicked out of the locker room. And maybe like a year later, 6 months to a year later, he asked Taker or Mark Henry if he could please change with the fellas back in the locker room, and he got let back into the locker room. But yeah, the Miz, Undertaker, Christian, Edge, like I like the Christian more than Edge. Like I love the hardcore stuff, you know, the Dudley Boys, the Hardys, the tables, the ladders, the chairs, all that kind of stuff. It was unsafe, but I enjoyed it. I know it's funny. One point, in DC, me and my friend Christina, we used to have this other friend. His name was Mark, I'm not sure. I forgot his name, to be honest. It's been a long time. If I want to talk to you in 6 months to a year, I don't remember your name. And we was like really, very close, right? He had like a heart condition or something. I think his name was Kenneth or Kevin, something with a K. Kenneth or Kevin. I think it was Kenneth. So he had a heart condition, so he couldn't work for a living, so he got a check and everything. That doesn't even matter. I'm not saying that part. Him and this guy named Vincent. Oh yeah, Vince. His name is Vince. Him and this guy named Vince. They all was wrestling fans, so they started a backyard wrestling. So I told him, I'm not really good with wrestling. I never picture myself being a wrestler, but I would consider being a announcer. And so I think 2 or 3 times I went to their house and they was doing an actual show, and it was really, really good. I don't think it was cameras. Oh, I think it was cameras. He had an actual ring set up and everything. And I had my little blazer on like I was Jim Ross and a little hat. And I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. Of course, I tried to talk more slower than back then, but the concept of it and everything, I really, really enjoyed it. I think it went away after a while because we got like fines. I think they got fines or something because, you know, I guess you're not supposed to do that kind of stuff or something. But the idea and the concept is really, really good. And it went the distance. Because I know a couple of other people who was doing backyard wrestlings in this area or in like Richmond, Virginia or stuff like that. So I was glad that I tried out and did that and got that and enjoyed that. Yeah. So that's what I enjoyed about wrestling. I liked Triple H's music. I enjoyed the music and the set designs and the lights and everything. All that stuff is important to me. And the stuff that's out of simple, and then of course the camera angles and everything. Like I enjoyed Triple H's theme song called "The Time Is Now." I should play it later. The Time Is Now. I should play it later. China's theme song. I enjoyed the DX theme song. My top favorite wrestler is Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was awesome. Like he was like a ruthless, badass, regular Joe person. He was my guy. Him and The Rock was my guy. And when they had to fight each other, it was like, what the fuck? But I enjoyed their storylines a lot. And I remember I heard a story later on. It's about The Rock flipping for him for his stunners and everything, and like making it even better than what he was doing on purpose. And it's flipping around when he's stunned and like falling over and shit. That athletic shit. I really, really enjoyed that. They have this great promo from WrestleMania. I think it was 19, 18. I think it was 17 or 18. I think it was 2 X's. And when it's the Limp Bizkit song, My Way, I'm gonna play that shit later too. The promo from the setup from that. That was one of the best promos ever. Even that song, it's like even the song is synonymous with that promo. I'll play it later. But this may become this whole show. This may become a jumbo show, not just wrestling. It's about me, my life. Like I enjoy radio. Like radio is like my thing. Like I felt like even like a morning show, like these are like they were talking to me. Like you know what I'm saying, like trying to get my opinion on things. Like Donnie Simpson in Washington D.C. and Russ Parr. I think he was based out of Georgia. I believe he was based out of Georgia and he was syndicated in DC. I don't think he was ever really here. Russ Parr and who else? The Hot One. Oh, I love the Hot One mess. Like they was like a group of white people in Rockville, and they used to have like Marquet, the host, Chris Gamble, his host. Another host, Teapot Tim, their stunt guy and producer, and two other people was in the studio. It was on Hot 99.5. I really enjoy it. Listen to it every day. Back in those days, you could do stunts like eat cicadas and spy on the neighbors and the hotel people next door and do little wacky dumb bits and stuff like that. And Elliot in the morning, because there was like a rock station. It's like a DC 101. It's a rock station, but they have a talk morning show where they basically play no music all day. From like 5:45 to 10 something. They don't play no music. They play like little snippets of music, but no music at all. They just talk, like talk radio, old fashioned talk radio. He's from Texas and he's been all over the place and he's been here for about 10, 15 years. A lot of people don't like him, or in the radio community, I guess, because I listen to the Junkies, the Sports Junkies on 106.7 The Fan, or used to be WJFK back in the day. And the Junkies and Elliot Siegel, they worked on the same time frame, which is 5:30 to 10, the same time slot. So they were rivals. And I like Big O and Dukes, who are no longer a brand anymore, sadly. Still don't know why they broke up, but hey, I figure that out one of these days. But Chad Dukes was a listener of the Sports Junkies, an intern on the Sports Junkies, so that made friction for Elliot, because I remember Chad did like a call-in to DC 101, and I guess the bit is to get on the host's nerves or something, or get a reaction, or just to say on their airways that the Sports Junkies is better than the current show you're listening to. But I love all those things. I don't have no gripes with nobody. So I like to listen to every show that I want. I listen to what I want to listen to. I don't care about what the masses do or what everybody do. I'm like, oh, you like these guys? You met these guys, so you can't listen to these guys. I listen to all those shows. Don the Mike, the Sports Junkies, Big O and Dukes, Elliot in the morning, all those shows. I have no allegiance to nobody because it's my preference. It's my shows. I choose what I want to consume. So all those things led me here to do this talk. Like I was in high school and middle school. It's like people go to work Monday to Friday, get paid X amount of dollars just to talk to their friends, essentially to their friends, into a microphone that people are listening to about current events, stuff like that. And that's it. And they get paid to this. To me, it felt like you just got paid to yap. You get paid just to yap. And people are paying to listen to you yap about the shit they yap about at home. Like current events, government, music, TV shows, music. That's it. And I said, people get paid to do this? Top dollar to do this? Like Howard Stern? Oh my gosh, Howard Stern is the best. Like he's really cool. I like the old Howard Stern. Like when he first was coming up, like he had this movie called Private Parts. It's about how he got started on NBC in a radio station and how he got from there to satellite radio. So I like the old Howard Stern, that, young, vigorous, uncensored Howard Stern. He's a juggernaut. And Joe Rogan, he's actor, radio guy, UFC commentator. He's awesome. And so me listen to those shows, like people felt like I was like a loser or whatever, because I'm like, I guess people made it seem like you spend your time listen to people talk. Like you don't have any friends or whatever. Like listen to people talk and that's it. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. What are you talking about? So people made those kind of assumptions like you're a loser because you listen to people talk like you're friendless, like you're a zilch. That's not true at all. Like I listen to people talk all the time. I'm a great listener, so that makes no difference to me. Like I learned a lot from just listening to people talk and grasping and grabbing information. So that's just my thing. So that what led me to here, to doing this. I've been wanting to do this all my life. I used to go to like radio station events and all that stuff. I used to work in security at Howard University. I used to work in the communications building. Obviously, I didn't go to college, if you can tell already. And I was working in the communications building. And so, I was basically the guard, the silly zilch, watching the students come in and out and everything, make sure everything's okay. So I was close by the campus radio station and also the DC public station, 96.3 WHUR. It's like a little adult-centric, oldies, goodies station, and then it plays gospel on Sundays. So I befriended the people who were working in the college station, and I actually have a picture of me just basically being on the board or running the board, even though I wasn't supposed to. I was working for security, and I was on the segment of the show, and I talked on the show. It was people was calling it. It was amazing. Like I think people didn't realize how much I knew about this stuff and how excited I was just to be in a room that could broadcast to so many people at the same time. It was amazing. I'm gonna post that picture on our Twitter. I'm gonna post that picture on our Twitter later tonight, of me being in the studio at Howard University's college station, me wearing my shitty security uniform, but I was gung-ho just to be in the room. So back in the day, I used to spend my time listening to radio stations, trying to win tickets to concerts and just being on the air. I know one summer, the summer of B2K, I remember this for a fact. The midday lady, I think her name was Lisa, right? And I was trying to, you need to have landlines, right? And I used to try to call in to win tickets. I don't really care about the tickets. I just wanted to talk on the air and record it. That's all I wanted. And I remember back in the day when you used to call into a radio station, you used to have it's not like that was like far away. Like it used to be like this little like a little far away, like you on a chat line or something. It was so weird and it was so iconic. And it was like 99.5, who's this? And it was that simple. That was it. It was amazing. So I guess she noticed that I kept calling in, or she kept recognizing my voice for a couple of months or something like that. So basically became friends. I got her desk number for the radio station, and basically I had to agree to read like 10 books in like a week or 10 books in a month, and she would basically help me get a internship or get a tour of the station. It was something along those lines. I don't remember, but we had a little partnership pretty much, and I don't remember how it ended, but I did get that tour of that particular radio station, and it was awesome. My mom took me, I think, because I think that's the same summer when I went to the police academy for summer school for boys in our neighborhood. And I remember one time I almost won some tickets to like a Jingle Ball Fest on 99.5. And you know how you get through on the radio station, and then they want you to answer that question real fast. I think because I was laying down, it was late at night, my words didn't come out clearly, so I lost. And they had to go to the next caller because it didn't sound correct. But I was laying down, and maybe my fat ass neck made me fuck up my the answer to the question. I said, I knew the answer to the question. I've been listening to this radio station all day. What are you talking about? But I lost. I never won it. So that's cool. And later in life, I went to DC 101 Studios to get my ear pierced for a contest or something. I'm not sure what they was giving out, but I took the metro up there to Twin Brook. And I went into the radio station, and I did my little thing. I'm surprised we wasn't on the air. We didn't get to go on the air, or not everybody didn't get to go on the air. So I got my earpiece by them, and I got a T-shirt, and that was pretty much it. And I think also in around those same couple of years, I also took a tour of the Hot 99.5 studios. It's funny, okay, how this stuff is built. These studios are owned by like 2 or 3 different companies, and all these stations are in like an office building, and there's multiple stations like country, rap, talk, all that stuff. It's all in one building, and it's just all this commiserate in one building. It's crazy. So I toured the Hot 99.5 studios one day, and I met the morning show, and on that time that was the Kane show that was there, but Kane was on vacation, so I just met his co-host, which is the lady, I forgot her name, and the interns and all the other people that's normally on their show, and it was cool. And I think I asked him during that time. I asked him about certain bits that was going on in the air, and what was real, what was fake, that kind of stuff. I just love this stuff. I love this. I love this like kayfabe, persona non grata kind of a business of this storytelling, pretty much. Essentially, people just on the radio talking about their kids and their lives and current events and music and news, and they're just chilling with their friends. That's essentially what it is on the radio. So, anyways, I kind of got sidetracked. This wasn't a wrestling show, but of course, when you on the mic, you talk about any and everything. So, also, I'm going to review this movie called A Million and One. Tatiana Taylor, if you don't know, she's the actress. She used to be a dancer or a singer. She played in the old Madea movie. I think Tyler Perry's Big Family Reunion or Big Family House or some shit. So she went from that doing that little Byron ghetto role, and now she's doing the leading role of this movie called 1001. Basically, it's about a girl in Harlem, and she lost her son to the foster care system or the system, and she sees her son like on the streets, and she talks to him, and there's no checkup on him, and then he ends up getting hurt at the foster family or whatever, or the shelter, and so he was in the hospital, and the friends tell the girl, and she go gets him, and then she pretty much takes him from the system, the government, and start raising them on her own. So yeah, so she takes her kid from the hospital, and she ends up taking care of him for from he's like the age of 7 to the age of 18, pretty much. He's kind of he don't talk that much. She said, "Do you trust me? Do you trust me? Do you touch me? Do you trust me?" She is showing him Harlem, where she grew up and everything, and basically that she will never leave him again. She's sorry, blah blah blah. She get an apartment for them and everything, and he asks her about. Spoiler alert! I'm gonna tell you about the whole movie, so spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. He's asking her about his dad. He's like, "Oh, he wasn't good. He wasn't good. He's gone. He's gone. I'm gonna find you a better one." Blah blah blah. And we see the kid grow up. She has a boyfriend. His name is Lucky, and when the kid first meets Lucky, he asks how long he's going to be here, and he was like, "Oh wow, he don't like me at all." Blah blah blah. It's a good movie. It's about growing up, bonds and lies and everything. The movie, the commercials show it. I expected something. I expected more more funny, more sad. I expected more. I know it was a Sundance movie. It got a lot of awards even before it even came out. Like she was, it's going to be nominated for other awards later this year. And I just expected it to be a little bit more something, but it's only like 3 or 4 characters, 5 or 6 characters in the movie. Like it's just the mother, the son, the stepfather, her friend's mom. It's none of my people in this movie. It's not that many main characters in this movie, which is fine. It's like the commercials made it seem like it's gonna be more something, more. I don't know more what. But I was just sitting there. When I was sitting there watching the movie, it was just silence. It was just, a couple of laughs, but mostly it was just, we were just watching the movie in silence. It was just, this is the movie. This is it. This is it. Like, so the movie ends basically, he's falling behind in school. Lucky is, Lucky and his mom are going. They're not really happy right now. He's disappearing from weekend. It started from weekends to days. And Lucky's telling the boy. I think the boy's name. I forgot the name. The boy's name was, but Terry. I think his name was Terry. And then he had another secondary name, which I don't remember what the secondary name was. But and he was telling the boy, you got to do what's right for you. You can't keep being with your mom. You got to figure out what's right for your life. Blah blah blah. I love you though. Lucky was a good guy. He never hit the boy or anything like that. He never, he took care of the boy like it was his own kid and everything. So Lucky wasn't a bad guy in that aspect, but he kept disappearing. Like, he kept disappearing. Like, he's like, why you keep disappearing? You be gone for I don't know how long, but she be gone longer than the last time he was gone. So at the end of the movie, we end up finding out that the apartment building, it starts crumbling down. It's a cheap $300 apartment building. Some white guy ends up buying a property across the street because the neighborhood is getting gentrified. Like, it's like 2005 now. And Lucky is like Terry, the kid. He's like a teenager now. Interested in girls and everything, and his friends and everything. And we notice that the house is falling apart. The new person that owns the building tries to fix everything, and everything is going well. But then months later, everything starts breaking down again. And then he's like, okay, so either you guys, we're going to have to overhaul this whole apartment building, and you got to be out of here for months. We're going to fix everything at one time, or you're just going to have to leave. What? Both of those are not an option. So you need to go fix everything one by one and get the fuck, nigga. Like, he really going to tell you you're going to have to go somewhere for months, or you just going to have to move? Basically, he was kicking them out over saying, look, live in these conditions or leave. I'm like, okay, so I'm thinking he's going to offer them a space next across the street on the white buildings, was better looking buildings, furnished and everything, but that didn't ever happen. So, but they end up still staying there. The kid Terry, he go behind him. He's realizing that his mom needs financial help, and Lucky been disappearing lately, and so he trying to help out, be a good son, and he asks his guidance counselor for some kind of work, after school work program or whatever. And she, gives him information, and she says, "Oh, we need your social security number and your birth certificate." So, unbeknownst to his mom, he goes into her room, go through his files, paperwork, and takes it back to school. And then, of course, days later, the lady come back and says, "Yeah, this is fake numbers. It's not you. What's going on? Where's your mom?" And then, she tried to get the mom to come down, and he's like, "Oh no, what's going on?" Blah, blah, blah. Long story short, of course, the guidance counselor comes by the house and brings another teacher and the police. And then the mom, the mother, is nowhere to be found. And then basically the guidance counselor ends up telling him that he is not who he think he is, because he basically was taken from the foster system. And the girl, what's her name? Isa, I think her name was Isa, something. Basically, that's not his mom. Basically, she stole him, pretty much. She is his kidnapper, pretty much. Mind you, before this happened, Lucky dies, and then the kid has resentment to the mom, thinking he wanted a male figure. He wanted his dad. He was like, "You caused this because you walking around here mopey, and that made him sad. He died because of you. I wish you would have died. Dumbass boys and shit." But Lucky ends up dying from cancer, and then at his repast at his house, the mother tells the son Terry to go give this lady a girl. It's a young lady and her daughter. We kept seeing her through the movie, and she tells her son, "Oh, that's Terry's baby mother and girlfriend, or other girlfriend and daughter." go give her a plate. And then he realized, oh, you know, everybody got baggage, everybody got problems, and lucky he wasn't the saint. He had a whole nother side life from them. So, but yeah. So he finds out that that is not his mom, and she's his kidnapper essentially, and da. And so they put him in like a group home and everything. And you know, they asking him where is she at when last time he talked to him. He ends up calling her best friend from the beginning of the movie, who housed, they say that a couple times when he was younger. And he's like, can I see you? La, 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 la. And then the next day he goes by the house again. His mother ends up being there. And he asks her, like, why? La, 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 why would you do that? I love you. You love me. Tell me it's not true. And then basically it was a great cinematography moment. You know, she's crying. He's crying. She's saying, you would think I was saving you and you really was saving me kind of thing. And it was real nice, real heartwarming. I love you, la, la, la. You know, they pretty much, I guess they summed it up and called it, said, all right, we still fucking with each other. I love you like as a son, you love me as my mom. And it was in a cab, and then she dropped him off, and then she pretty much dipped out and smiled towards the camera and left. I'm not sure if she went to another state, part of the city, or what, but you know. And you know, she was saying, you're gonna be doing good, you're gonna do good, you going to college, you smart as shit, you be fine. You saved me. You thought I was saving you, you saved me. So, you know, you good. You was one thing I know for, even though all the bad stuff she did, he was good, and I helped create this goodness of you. So that was pretty much the tagline at the end of the movie. I was like, so when I first watched it and I finished the same night, I was kind of upset. I'm like, this movie stink. You know. And I guess I had to sit with it for a while. And I said, okay, I understand the message and you know, whatever. Like, but it makes me think, like, if I understand she kidnapped a kid, and I understand that's a crime, I understand. But at the end of the day, when we go to jail for things, who are we paying these crimes to? Like, unless you murdered somebody or you touched somebody or something like that, like, and I know you took somebody's kid and everything, but obviously if no one ever claimed him or looked for him all these years, he must have an appearance or he must be dead already. Like, who am I on this time in a prison for if these people don't exist? Like the government. Oh, you going to jail for weed? Blah, blah, blah. What? Why? Who am I hurting? I am hurting this fake government entity. Like, what? That's crazy. So I had to sit with that. And as I thought about it more and, you know, my life experience and everything else like that, I realized it's a good movie, but by the commercials, I was expecting a little bit more something. I don't know what, but expecting a little bit more something. So, yeah, that's what's crazy. But back to wrestling. Hi, this is a wrestling show. I forgot, right? Cool beans. So, WrestleMania week, Saturday, it comes. They're in Los Angeles. I wish I could have gone, but I didn't. The tickets was outrageous. Like, I couldn't get no good seats mind you, first of all, I'm short. I'm not trying to spend less than $300 per ticket per day at the least. Like, I'm not a floor fan because I'm short and I want to be on the high rise. And then it's like, it's not a regular arena. It's a motherfucking football stadium or outdoor stadium. Like, so you're gonna be watching camera. You're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to pretty much watch other screens to watch wrestling in the arena. I could watch shit at home for $10 a month and get on with it. Like, what the fuck? So that's partially why I don't go to these events, because they're in bigger arenas and you pretty much are watching this show on big ass screens than in person, because you're either short or you're too far away from the ring to see what the fuck is going on. But LA, I've been to LA like twice. I enjoy my time in LA. I've been there twice. I love LA. It felt like time has slowed down there a little bit. I did some, beach stuff. I went to saw whale watchings in LA, a couple of other things. I'm very adventurous. When I go out of town, I'm very adventurous. But back to WrestleMania Night 1. The biggest matches on the card I enjoyed was the Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre match. I love all three of these competitors. They all hit hard in the ring, like legit hit hard in the ring. This was my 5-star match, and surprisingly, Dave Meltzer gave it a 5-star match because it was really entertaining. It had some grit, storytelling, sadness. It was all in the above. It was a great match. Gunther is a fucking beast. He's an animal, and I'm like, I don't understand why people in British or London or whatever, they don't never wear kneecaps. I mean, they don't wear knee braces or whatever, or kneecaps. They don't cover their knees. I noticed that. Like, I think at one point during William Regal's career, he didn't wear knee protection either. I know once during the last Cody Rhodes run, when he was like dashing Cody Rhodes at one point, he didn't wear no knee braces either. I'm like, it's weird to see these niggas wrestling with their knees exposed to me. So that match was probably about 12 minutes. A couple of good hard hits. I love it. I love it. The chops and the crowd, the participation. That was a great match. It was big guys, thick guys, no half flyers. It was a good match. I'm a big Sheamus fan. I like Sheamus. I like all them all. I love Drew McIntyre. I just hate his music. I don't hate his music. I like his old music better though. But Gunther ended up winning clean for the IC title, and he's really putting big prestigiousness on that title. Him and The Miz really bringing back the Intercontinental Championship, and it's funny. He's been holding that championship for a while, and he still have not wrestled Roman, because normally if you're the IC champion, you're supposed to be like next in line to wrestle the champion, because that's the tiers. It's the World Championship, then it's the IC or Intercontinental Championship, then it's another mid-card championship, and all that, and so on and so forth. But they have yet to fight each other. It's crazy. And it's funny, Gunther was doing an interview I seen on TikTok, on YouTube, and he don't talk the way he talks on TV. Like it's a regular talking person. I guess he pushes his accent on the TV show, I guess, pretty much. So that was my match of the night. I enjoyed that match. I rewatched that match at least twice. I love the entrances and all that stuff, and the entrance of Gunther and Imperium. It was great. I love it. My next match that I love was the tag team match with the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I love everybody in this match. I'm a Bloodline fan. I love heels. I enjoy Kevin Owens and I love Sami Zayn from the Indies. I've seen him all over the world, New York City, ROH, PWG. I am a fan of wrestling. I've seen them all. I have the DVDs. I love everybody in this match, and I'm glad everybody in this match is still working at WWE, still getting a check for their children. I enjoy the storyline, and I enjoyed the crowd participation in this match. The babyfaces won, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So that ended, not ended the storyline, but it's still going to continue. Them going against the Bloodline. They won the championships. The tag team, the undisputed titles this past Saturday that is. What other match did I enjoy on this card? I'm not even sure. I need to look it up right quick. So our next match was Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. I don't know what let me play that music right now. I don't know what Charlotte Flair did with her face surgeries. She looks so horrible now. I don't know what she did with her honeymoon or vacation or whatever, but it looks horrible to me. But Rhea Ripley, I love her. I loved her since she was in NXT. She's a heel. She's part of the Judgment Day. I love that theme music. I play it almost 20 times a day. It's just so rock, and it's so instruments and everything like that. So Rhea Ripley whooped fucking Charlotte Flair's ass. I think they kind of botched a little bit. She kind of fucked up her leg a little bit on Charlotte Flair. But that was a great match too. Like, I say about 4 stars. I normally don't watch the women's matches because they don't entertain me that much unless it's a good storyline. But I really enjoy Rhea Ripley's character. Like her character is what, and then they was doing like spray paint, like Dom was doing spray painting at the Fan Access show with the WWE store of his father. He spray painted his dad's picture on the wall at the WWE shop store, and then Rhea Ripley, she holds the same toy of Dom when he was like a child during the Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero era back in the Attitude era. It's just a consistency in the concept and the continued storytelling with these little neon stuff. I really, really enjoy it. Mind you, these people who are wrestlers now, they watched it when they was younger, so they remember him and Ray fighting for his custody, him or Eddie, Uncle Eddie. So that was a good match. I'm glad that the title's off of Charlotte Flair. That was a match like 2 years in the making because they have a whole rivalry from like 2 years ago, and then she got injured and she went on vacation. So that's good. I enjoyed that match. I love Rhea Ripley, and then like it's crazy like how she looks regularly without her makeup on. She's even still hot. Like she's hot. Like I'll date her. She's from Australia. Like she's cool. I want to hang out with her. Cool things. Next match versus Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. I love the feud. I love where it's going. I love heels, so I love Dom, and I love the prison aspect of the show. The prison aspect of his character now, and his entrance. He had the best entrance night one on Saturday night. He had the best entrance. Yeah. I don't know where they're going to go now with this storyline. But I'm ready. I'm still watching. So I'm waiting. I don't know. He's gonna rip his mask. He's gonna retire him. He's gonna injure him. He's gonna leave. I don't know what more they could do, or maybe he's gonna rip off his mask when his last match before he leave, or do some blood or anything. But this WrestleMania felt like it was no intensity in this. Like nobody broke character or cursed nobody on TV, or no one didn't insult nobody, no kayfabe kind of things. Like, when John Cena and The Rock was going at each other, you couldn't tell if it was real or was fake. I like that kind of stuff. And this year, it just seemed like it was just a breeze. It just went through like a train. Oh, WrestleMania is gone. Okay, cool. Now we'll see you next year. Like, it was no intensity in none of the stories other than the Dom and Mysterio, just because of the prison stuff and that consistency, and the Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, whatever. So, hold on one second. Next match is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the storyline from him coming back to WWE and winning the Royal Rumble. But I think it was a hot shot because, like, he don't still feel like a main event to me, like a main event player to me. Because when he last was here, he was with Legacy and Randy Orton and this group and everything, and he was doing a Stardust thing. And then, don't get me wrong, I love the Dash and Cody Rhodes. I love the old Cody Rhodes characters, but I just felt like I don't really watch that much of his run during his indie run. He went to PWG, All Elite Wrestling, and everywhere else. I don't really watch all of it. I just watched certain matches on AEW where he smashed the throne for Triple H and all that other stuff. But he didn't really feel, to me, like, I don't like the suits thing. Like, he's doing the old school Vince McMahon thing. Like, when you're in the main event status, you got to be like a suit wearing ass motherfucker. Like, I don't like that. I don't know. Maybe that's really who he is. Like, I'm not sure him. I don't know who him in real life, but I want somebody in the main event spot who just wear hoodies to the ring and shit. Like, be regular. Like, I hate he wears suits and fucking dress socks and shit. I don't know. But that's not really I don't really think he's a main eventer. I don't know. I don't like this American Nightmare guy. I don't know. I wish he could just do the Dash and Cody Rhodes or the destroy face Cody Rhodes thing and leave it alone. Like, I love those characters. But the match was great. Of course, he cheated. with Solo Sikoa, and that's how he retained his title, Roman Reigns. I'm not sure he's gonna beat the John Cena record. No, not the John Cena. The record. He's up there with the Bruno Sammartino and all them other people who held the title for so long in the one whole reign. Of course, he's already beaten the CM Punk 400 days reign already. But I enjoyed the match. I wasn't shocked that he didn't win. The story continues, so I'm not shocked that he didn't win. I can't wait to see where they go from here. Like, cause on Monday night, and even on Monday night, like I enjoyed the press conference after WrestleMania on both nights. I enjoyed cause on first night it was brought to you by Snickers. And Kevin Owens kept eating the Snickers really slowly. It was very hilarious. If you watch it on YouTube or whatever, he was eating the Snickers and he tried to eat it really slowly and really, so you don't pick it up on the mic. It was hilarious. And on night 2, WrestleMania press conference, it was good. I enjoyed, Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns on the mic and everything. And then, this guy named, I think his name is Kevin Nichols or some reporter who reports pretty much Twitter bullshit, pretty much. He brought up the sale of WWE was being sold to the parent company of the UFC. And so, Paul Heyman was like, he has a big issue of starting stuff at press conferences because this same guy he was part of some mess in AEW a couple months ago with CM Punk, and he was the catalyst of making some stuff going on with CM Punk and the Bucks and people behind the scenes at AEW. So Roman Reigns played it off nice. Oh, I was beating your favorite. I have nothing to do with that, but I don't know nothing about that. But I'm sure they're glad to have me. And then he's like, so he was wasted your question, and then he got up and left. I'm gonna find a clip and play for you guys. Hold on a second.
Out of the kindness of my heart, one more.
You are a generous tribal chief.
It's my day. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Roman, on your victory. Nick Hausman, House of Wrestling. Question for both of you. Huge news broke this afternoon from CNBC. It sounds like there could be a big change in ownership for WWE maybe as early as tomorrow. What are your reactions to reports that WWE could be acquired by Endeavor, potentially merge with UFC? And, of course, Paul, we already saw you getting into it with Conor McGregor over on Twitter. Thank you.
I was busy, smashing your favorite. So, yeah, I don't really know too much about that. Today was a busy day for me. Whatever happened, I'm sure they're all very lucky to have me. I know that much. You got anything on that, Wise Man?
Yeah, he has a bad habit of starting problems at press conferences. Yeah.
You care to ad-lib and maybe, rebuttal him? Yeah.
No, he knows he has a bad habit of.
All right, so that's it. You wasted your question or whatever, right? Yeah.
No, he knows he has a bad habit of asking bad questions at press conferences.
Let's say the improv or whatever, right? Yeah. All right, so that's it. You wasted your question. All right, good night, guys.
So that was a clip from WrestleMania Night 2's press conference with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman and the other press junket. It was very fun. I love that kind of stuff behind the scenes. It's great. I love it. I'm not sure who started doing it first, either any AEW or WWE started doing press conferences first. I think it was WWE. I'm not for sure because I barely watch AEW because it's so much. It's not bad. It's just I need to practice like in the ring more or whatever. And okay, so and down to the night after WrestleMania. 1 second. So night after WrestleMania, it didn't feel special. It didn't feel special. It didn't feel like it was no special guest but Matt Riddle. Like it wasn't epic. It wasn't the crowd. It was something was missing. Like the matches, Vince. Okay, so what happened was earlier that day, it was news that broke that WWE was acquired by UFC, the parent company of UFC. It's called Endeavor, and so that means Vince McMahon is back in charge and part of creative and everything. And so the Raw felt like it was a Vince ran creative show. So it was off. The show was off. It was very, very off. It was off putting. People seemed annoyed on the mic and annoyed on their face. And it was a Vince show, and it was clearly known it was a Vince show because it didn't feel like a Triple H ran show. It really didn't. And it was no beach balls. It was the crowd wasn't there. I think the announcement of the sale was cool, but also the announcement of Vince McMahon being back in charge and being part of creative was not received well because the show stink. It didn't feel special. It didn't feel special at all. Like it stunk. The show, it stunk. The show stunk. I have to say, and it was only one. It was not that much even wrestling on that show. It was mostly all promos and shit and packages of WrestleMania from last night. And only person that came back last night was Matt Riddle, I believe. That was it. Not saying Matt Riddle is not a good guy or not good or anything. It's just that was it. He was the only one that came back. Like. It was, but later on Friday night's SmackDown this past week, Triple H came out there and he said that they're going to do a WWE Draft in a couple of weeks. And it sounded like he was trying to convey to us that he's back in charge of creative on his own, and we're good to go. He's in good hands, and Vince don't have no say and control over creative because he's even on the interview Monday morning he was saying he's not a part of creative, only not at the wheeze of it but at the top of it, like the final say so of it. And he wasn't even there on Friday night on SmackDown, and it felt like it was a Triple H ran show. So so if that's what's happening, that's good. It's in good hands then. It's in good hands since Triple H is really back on creative and everything. I heard they're having a hiring freeze right now, which is fine until everything gets sped away with the new company. It probably won't be in effect until like next year or whatever. But so SmackDown was good. Roman wasn't on that day. He wasn't on the show that night. Gunther versus Gunther. It was Gunther versus. So the only match I really enjoyed that night was Imperium versus the Brawling Brothers. They had a 6-man tag match, and I also enjoyed the Judgment Day promo in the Judgment Day match with Rey Mysterio and the Latinos World Order group. Those were the only memorable things of the show, but it felt like it was a wrestling show. It was a Triple H led show, and I'm loving the heat that Dom is getting from the crowd. Like he's getting massive heat. So I'm glad he's getting that because when he first came out, he was working with Mysterio, and he was a face at that time. He was too smiley, showing his dumb teeth. He had no facial hair, but on his like little like mustache under his nose and under his chin. So I was like, he needs some more hair or something because he don't look tough. He look like a baby in the face and shit. But this new heel run he been doing with him and Edge and the Judgment Day and Rhea Ripley, I love it. I love the music, the theme song, the purpleness. I love it all. Originally I thought it used to be Edge used to be the head of the Judgment Day, and then he got screwed over, and then Finn Balor is the head of Judgment Day. I really thought they were going to let AJ Styles be the to run Judgment Day, but I guess they did rehire his little brothers from the brothers of his other crew from Japan. So I guess they don't need AJ Styles to run this group. I'm loving what they're doing with the group. I love the music. I love the consistency with the storyline and behind the scenes and the freebies online, YouTube, the internet content. I love it. And then of course Sami Zayn was versus Jey Uso as the final match of the night. Of course, Solo got involved in the match again, and Jay won the match, and he got beat up by the Bloodline. So we know what's to come from that. I enjoyed their storyline this whole time. Main event Jay. I want him, if he's gonna beat Roman Reigns in the next year or so. I'll take that. I'll take that. But I wish the Miz could get back into it, because like I was surprised on WrestleMania he didn't have a match, but he was a host, but he didn't have a match. And I'm not sure what happened with this Dexter Loomis shit. I don't know what happened. I don't remember how did it end. I know Johnny Gargano was involved, or he hired Dexter to stalk him or something like that. I don't know how it ended, but it was too long, and the payoff was nothing. I don't know. The payoff was dumb. The payoff was nothing. I don't know. And I don't know what they're doing with the Baron Corbin character. He was with JBL, but then the JBL either said, "I'm not coming to this shit no more," or they just stopped the storyline with him coming with him, or him mentoring him. So I'm not sure what they're doing with him. I enjoyed his old character when he was like Happy Corbin, I think it was. But he had to cut his hair. He was balding like a motherfucker, so he had to cut his hair. I understand what he was done with that. He had to cut his hair. And that's pretty much it for all my heels. Oh, Austin Theory. I love Austin Theory. I hated it when they changed his name to the Theory, like last year's WrestleMania. I'm like, come on, Austin don't work here no more. He's the here, he's the now. Give Austin Theory back his name. Like, what the fuck? I love Austin Theory. I don't know why, but I love I love Austin Theory though. He's my guy. Like, he's cute. Like, I like him. I like him like sexually. I don't know why, but I do. Like, his thighs, something about Austin Theory. Something. I don't know. It's something. But cool things. That's pretty much it for my show. I'm glad I did this. I got all my jitters out pretty much. It's kind of hard to talk by yourself for an hour. It's not that hard. It's not. You have a topic, there's a couple of topics. It's really not that hard. It's just, it was scary. It was very scary. But I'm going to edit this stuff, and I'm going to post it later today, or maybe tomorrow morning, and see how it goes. I don't know. I got to fix my YouTube, my iTunes stuff, because I don't think the show is popping up on iTunes, and I already paid for it for the year, so I'm not sure why it's not coming up. But I need to fix that, and we're going to be on a break for about a week or two, because my co-host in the Morning J show, the regular show, she's going to have surgery in the next coming days, so she's going to be out of commission for about a week or two. So I will probably do another solo show, a Morning J show after dark, probably later this week or next week or something. If I have something to talk about, I will surely get back on, because I can yap. So it'll be some kind of content out. So just stay tuned to our YouTube, not our YouTube. Stay tuned to our Twitter, and it'll be updated in our Facebook. So follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and follow us on TikTok, even though I haven't posted no clips in a while, but I will do that tonight or tomorrow. So that is the show, pretty much. The Morning J After Dark show, solo show, TED Talk. It's a long ass fucking title, but I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. After Dark or TED Talk or solo or all the above. But next week or next time you hear this show, we will have theme music. Finally, I'm getting a theme music being made from a guy from Fiverr.com. And so we'll be having a theme song and an outro song and a rejoiners and all that little nice good shit, good stuff. I need to find out what song we're going to play to end the show tonight. Let's see. So thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for joining with me. Thanks for going with me in this journey. We got more to come. So thanks for listening. Good night.
What the hell do you have to lose?
Reporting live from the other side of America. Mama let me sip the 40. I was just a shorty. Damn. Then I started spitting garlic, and they said record me. Man. I feel like this was for me. This my story. Facts. Yeah. Jumped out the porch. I got a Porsche, no take it back. I'm on the block with the killers and holding my own, of course. Yeah. I see my mom and dad separate, ain't talking divorce. Said daddy was living by the fire, and he died by the torch. I'm where that is. We like the baby kids. Ain't ever daddy, I listen to suckers the same way that Ray did. I'm talking, I just was a grade 8 kid. Ain't on no guy, and we grew up with hitters and did everything they said. Point out the block, we spinning that. Running the spot, we getting that. Give us some work, we flipping that. I'm hitting from jet, ain't hitting back. I need a lawyer, money for commissary, ain't nobody ain't sending that. I'm in my cell, like when I get out, I'm making a movie, no Cinemax. Whoo, yeah. Back home and I'm fresh on bail. Phone chirping, it was next to tail. Block popping, it was extra sell. Big dog, they ain't showing remorse. I was begging just to catch a cell. Same block, we was going to war. I was praying I ain't catch a shell. Hey, ooh, we ain't starving for 1,000 nights. Living like we trying to die tonight. Sound like dynamite. I was on my car money, selling soap like a OG said you the block up. I was mad, I was trying to fight. We home. Mama at work, daddy he dead. We home. Stomach growling like an AMG, going to bed. We home. Know me, all my friends are dead. We home. Reporting live from the other side of America. Reporting live from the other side. Yeah. Same corner where my brothers died. Yeah. Living like we ain't got care. Told my mama I ain't dying here. No. Know me, I ain't buying beer. No. Ain't have a wheel, now I'm flying Lear. Bunch of fellas on the jet with me. Make a movie